490, 44, 44, and good luck.
Now, Room 13 sounds like a sinister TV follow-up to Room 101, but in fact, it's the name of an art club where the amazingly talented members, aged from 5 to 11, are taking the art world by storm. It's in a remote village near Fort William in the Scottish Highlands, and it's run by the children themselves. It's also entirely funded by them. They raise funds for it. They employ the 2 adult artists who teach them, and last year the club won the Barbie Prize. It's the junior version of the Turner Prize, which put an extra £20,000 in the club's kitty for them. We went to visit Room 13 to see what the fuss is about.
I'm Danielle Sinis and I'm Room 13's managing director and I keep the business running.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Martin. I'm the chairwoman in Room 13. I chair all the meetings.
Hi, I'm Judy Fraser and I'm the secretary of Room 13 and I write all the letters to people.
Room 13 is just a normal classroom, apart from we do art, and when we do our art we put of how we feel or what's happened or what's going to happen. So we try to make art a lot more interesting instead of just drawing flowers and stuff like that.
This sort of activity carries on all day, all the time, from 8:30 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. The one concrete rule is that they must keep their classwork up to date.
All my work is text-based and all of it's to do with philosophy. Me and Lindsay usually do a lot of landscape pictures from outside the window with watercolours.
First I was going to have lots of different animal teeth, but that wouldn't cover a canvas. I need to have a really small canvas before I got into that. The panels down the bottom of it represent blood and everything.
Well, 9/11 started from just a different idea totally from what it turned out to be. Time represents time, and when the sun shines on it, it represents all little sundials, and it would sort of go together with 9/11 and that it's both using different resources.
The worst thing about running Room 13 is funding, because we run out of money quite quickly and everything. And there's a lot of people that just come up and waste all the materials that we've got.
Well, sometimes you run out of paint, and then you have to buy more in. It costs too much.
If the day happened when I went home and thought, no, that was dull, I think I'll be forced to give up. But constantly, somebody somewhere will say something that is just so exciting.
Well, we're going to give you some details of our own upcoming art competition in a couple of minutes. But meanwhile, we've got art expert and collector Ivan Massow. He was actually chairman of the judges of the Junior Turner Prize, which is won by Room 13, and you were immensely impressed, weren't you, by their work? In fact, you said actually a lot of the work was much better than the regular Turner Prize, the adult one.
I mean, of course, we issue the prize at the same time as the Turner Prize, and you're kind of hoping that it would be a bit cheeky if you could come up with some work that was better quality.
Yeah.
And when you see the standard of the work, it was superb.
Yeah.
What was really interesting about this school is, as we saw from the clip, they're so small, they're so insignificant, they've kind of fallen off the education's map, the educational authority's map. They don't have a proper art teacher.
Apparently, it's a really small school.
Absolutely.
And it's not a posh middle class school at all.
Oh,
It's
no,
very
no.
normal, very ordinary kids.
And they qualify, for a teacher to come and visit them once a month or something on a rota who travels around Scotland. So the kids got together and they have, jumble sales and bring and buy and coffee mornings to save up. And they work it like a proper directors committee with a chairman and all these sorts of...
And that's to pay for the facilities, for the materials, and crucially to pay for the teacher to come in.
Yeah,
So
it was interesting from two perspectives. One thing, how engaged they were, and how this conviction had converted itself into talent, and how really up for it, and the quality of the work.
Well, look at this. This is my favourite piece, and we saw this some time ago. We featured it on the show about when it was done, actually, when you announced the prize. Now that is 9/11, and those are all
by Jodie Fraser.
By Jodie Fraser, and those are all burnt and charred matchsticks, and they're meant to represent represents a life of someone who died on that day. And it's a marvellous piece of work. And if that had been put in by an adult, and a known artist, and won a prize, I mean, it would go for probably thousands and thousands of pounds.
It was rumoured that Charles Saatchi offered to buy it, and I would have certainly bought it. I think Jodie said I would never sell it to Charles Saatchi or something very bold. You think, oh, clever girl, she's already got her press line sorted out. There's all artists, every time you meet one of these kind of YBA artists, they're always saying, I'd never let Charles Saatchi buy my work. But the moment he does, they all start clamouring around him because they know it means
it's like selling out.
Yeah. No, but you actually said, because you were the chairman of the judges of the Junior Prize, you said that what was refreshing about about Room 13 was the way the works were so individual, whereas in other school classes, which, you could see the influence of the adult teacher far more.
Yeah, and also you could see the influence of a curriculum system that wants to measure standards. Yep. And so they're all told this year, you could see that Egypt was heavily on the curriculum because there's lots of pictures of pyramids and Mars and things, which were beautifully done. But they were restricted. Where this is the kids saying, given a special circumstances, saying, think about it. How do you want to illustrate this? And the other thing is, it wasn't the same work. It wasn't. They weren't all like this piece, which was quite impressionist. Or it was quite kind of very modern, very YBA in some respects. There was painting. There were all sorts of a complete broad range.
Well, a worthy winner. Now we're going to launch our own. We actually launched it on Monday, but we're going to relaunch it again here because people wouldn't have been watching on Monday necessarily. Will you be a judge on our national art competition?
Oh yeah, I would be delighted.
Okay, well listen up because these are the details.
Really
okay.
No.
You can't really. Good, thank you. All right, well, we'll have a number of judges. He's our first one on the book. It's our Celebrity Art Club series, which finished on Monday, and it was so popular, and thank you for all your response about it, and thanks for telling us what you think about the show, that we decided to launch a celebratory national art competition, as I say. Now, there are going to be 3 categories. There's still life, figurative, and landscape, and that's in any medium that you want. Paints, pastels, chalks, line drawings, whatever. It just doesn't matter. Mosaics, anything at all. We can't do sculpture because we couldn't get them here, so sculpture, I'm afraid, has to take a back seat. And the winners will have their entries exhibited alongside some of our celebrities' artwork in a top gallery a bit later on in the year when we've had the winners.
So, I mean, actually, it's all ages too, I think.
Oh, a 2-year-old wants to enter, they can. I'm serious.
Okay, so if you'd like to have a go, send us your artwork to this address. It's Art Competition, Richard and Judy, P.O. Box 31888, London, SE11, 4XS. Now, what we'd like to do is sell all of the artworks you enter for charity. So please don't send anything that's so precious to you that you want it back. You need to make sure that your entry reaches us by the closing date, which is Friday, 4th of April, so you've got quite a few weeks yet.
Yeah, what we're probably going to do is we'll put a ticket number to each piece that comes in and then have a duplicate ticket, and then people will just buy them at random at, say, 10 or a 5 or whatever it is, and then they get that piece of artwork. So it's a bit of a lucky dip, but it should be fun, and we'll raise a lot of money for charity too. Okay, have a look at this. Is this the skull of an alien?